Be that building block witness who is going to take the stand. The Manhattan paralegal reading thousands and thousands of Trump social.
One gram sugar, 25 vitamins and minerals, and a new fiber blend with a prebiotic.
Zyrtec allergy relief works fast and lasts a full 24 hours, so Dave can be the
deliverer of dance.
Okay, Dave. Let's be more than our allergies. Z's the day with Zyrtec.
A mystery.
Jesse loves playing detective.
But the real mystery was her irritated skin. So we switched to Tide Free and Gentle. It cleans better and doesn't leave behind irritating residues.
And it's gentle on her skin.
Tide Free and Gentle Liquid is EPA Safer Choice certified. It's got to be Tide.
Arthritis pain? We say not today. Tylenol 8-Hour Arthritis Pain has 2 layers of relief. The first is fast. The second is long-lasting. We give you your day back so you can give it everything. Tylenol, #1 doctor recommended for arthritis pain.
My mental health was better, but uncontrollable movements called TD, tardive dyskinesia, started disrupting my day.
TD felt embarrassing. I felt like disconnecting. I asked my doctor about treating my TD and learned about Ingrezza.
Ingrezza is clinically proven for reducing TD. Most people saw results in just 2 weeks. People taking Ingrezza can stay on most mental health meds. Only #1 prescribed Ingrezza has simple dosing for TD. Always 1 pill once daily. Ingrezza can cause depression, suicidal thoughts, or actions in patients with Huntington's disease. Pay close attention to and call your doctor if you become depressed, have sudden changes in mood, behaviors, feelings, or have thoughts of suicide. Don't take Ingrezza if you're allergic to its ingredients. Ingrezza may cause serious side effects including angioedema, potential heart rhythm problems, and abnormal movements. Report fevers, stiff muscles, or problems thinking, as these may be life-threatening. Sleepiness is the most common side effect.
Take control by asking your doctor about Ingrezza.
Spring into savings this moving season with Pods. Save up to 25% now on moving and storage and see why Pods has been trusted with over 6 million moves. But don't wait. Save up to 25% now. Visit pods.com today.
I was scared when I was told age-related macular degeneration could jeopardize my vision. It was hard, but taking PreserVision was easy.
PreserVision has the exact clinically proven AREDS 2 formula recommended by the NEI.
I'm taking control like millions of others.
From friends coming over to moms coming over. So many ways to save. Life ready, wallet happy. That's 365 by Whole Foods Market.
It's Kubota Orange Days. Shop the year's biggest selection of Kubota equipment and get 0% APR for 84 months or up to $3,300 off select compact tractors. Find your nearest dealer at KubotaOrangeDays.com.
It's lunchtime and Gary is double booked. Good thing Gary's company uses Otter's AI meeting assistant to take notes and generate a summary. So Gary doesn't miss a meeting and can regain his lunch break. Try now for free. Visit otter.ai or download the app.
I'm Daniel, the founder of Pretty Litter, the color-changing, health-monitoring cat litter. Did you know that cats tend to hide symptoms of sickness and pain? I learned this the hard way after losing my cat, which drove me to create this. By working with scientists and veterinarians, we were able to develop a new litter with color-changing technology to help you keep tabs on your cat's health. With advanced odor control, low dust, and easy maintenance, it's no wonder we're called the world's smartest litter. So give it a try. Visit prettylitter.com today.
Messy happens. When it does, there's HomeAglow. For just $19, HomeAglow will clean your entire house. Everything from dishes to vacuuming, even laundry. Join thousands of Americans and book your first cleaning today for just $19.
I'm Anu Raju from Capitol Hill, and this is CNN.
It has been a busy morning inside 100 Center Street. That's what you're looking at right here. Right now, there is a brief break inside of the courtroom, but when the judge and the jury come back, direct examination is going to resume. For the second witness today, it is a paralegal for the prosecution. The unanswered question is if or when we'll see some of those brand name witnesses who we know We're in the trenches of an alleged scheme that could potentially send Donald Trump to prison if he's convicted here. A big if. Names that we've been talking about: Michael Cohen, Stormy Daniels, maybe Hope Hicks. I'm Caitlin Collins here in New York.
Bash in Washington, prosecutors continue to lay the foundation this morning for their case against the former president. The witnesses are giving them a passageway to introduce evidence against Trump, recordings, and now social media posts. And we're seeing the former president transport his delay strategy from outside the courtroom to inside the courtroom, giving not a single inch to the prosecution's rush to put the facts on the record. My panel is here with me. So now that the court is in a break, I think we expect them back momentarily. Ellie, can you just give our viewers an idea of what happened this morning in court?
So the witnesses today have been technical, but still really vital to the prosecution's case and potentially to the defense. When the day started, we had Douglas Doss on the stand. Now, he's an investigator, works for the Manhattan DA, and his specialty is digital forensics. He had gone through 2 of Michael Cohen's cell phones, and they're using him as a vehicle, as a foundation to introduce evidence found on those cell phones, which will include texts, could include emails, and includes a very important recording, the recording that Michael Cohen made of his conversation with Donald Trump back in September 2016, where they're discussing the Karen McDougal payout. The jury has heard that once. I think we are going to hear it again throughout the trial. Now on the stand is a paralegal with the Manhattan DA's office named Georgia Longstreet, not a name anyone should be expected to know. And it seems like what she is doing is authenticating, laying the foundation for certain social media posts that Donald Trump put up. She earlier we had a note she was explaining Twitter to the jury. Good luck with that. She also apparently has gone through thousands of Donald Trump's tweets in Truth Social. She won't be commenting on them. She'll just be saying, yes, this is the post he put up. And to the point you were making before, Dana, the reason we're hearing from these witnesses is because Donald Trump's legal team, as is their right, has refused to stipulate. Usually, not always, but 80, 90% of the time, the defense will say, yes, we agree. Those tweets are, in fact, his tweets. You don't have to call the paralegal. Donald Trump is giving no quarter. Therefore, all these witnesses are having to take the stand.
And Carolyn, you are our expert on juries here. How do you suppose, and I know that this is you're in large part guessing, but it's informative, it's informed guessing about how the judge responds to a moment like we're about to see continue when they come back, where you have a paralegal reading social media posts.
You mean how the judge is going to respond to that? Or
The judge and the jury, how they're kind of, how a jury takes in and absorbs that kind of testimony as opposed to an actual witness giving information.
Well, usually the jury assumes that there's a reason for what's going on in front of them. And usually they assume that the witness is important, but they might finish that witness coming to the conclusion, why did we just have to sit through that?
What I was getting
And they might just not really be able to figure it out. And who knows if the refusal to stipulate is based on a real important basis, or if it's just tit for tat. You won't tell us who the witnesses are. We're not going to stipulate. If I were Trump's defense team, I would do the same thing. Why stipulate? Why not have the trial be as boring as possible?
And Jim, the judge is going back through, they're back in, obviously, going back through the exhibits that the defense is objecting to. Prosecutors said with the stipulation, they will not seek to offer the Washington Post article. So all of this is obviously very important when you look at the details from the point of view of both the defense and the prosecution. What can the jury see? What can they not see? But what about the overall argument that Ellie was making about this takes time and it eats up time and it is part of the delay?
But I think you made a good point. It takes out the shock and awe, right? All the things, the things that go on, the testimony that's very interesting, the stuff that we want to talk about on set here. This isn't exciting stuff, but necessary if you don't stipulate. And you have to go through these motions in order to get the evidence introduced later on.
And Jamie, Trump is looking at the screen as the judge is hearing arguments on the Twitter posts being admitted into evidence.
He has closed his eyes a couple of times today, but he does seem quite engaged. At one point a little while ago, he tapped one of his lawyers on the arm, trying to get him to go back up. You know, to the point of stipulating and delay, and I think Ellie and Jim, we talked about this last week. it works against the prosecution perhaps in this way. Juries, it's the prosecution's case. If they're having to sit there for longer and longer, that may work against the prosecution. On the other hand, to Jim's point about the shock and awe moment, I think when those happen, you sort of forget about today.
Okay, so let's think about a potential shock and awe moment coming at some point, and that is one of the next big name, bold-faced names who might take the stand. Hope Hicks is one of those who we do expect to see at some point.
Yeah, and there's always been kind of an aura around Hope Hicks, an air of mystery, right? She's been with Donald Trump since 2015, but been with the family for years before that. She was privy to everything. When nobody thought that Donald Trump was going to win, when nobody would join his campaign except for a few loyalists, she was by his side. We know that she was in and out of that meeting that David Pecker talked about in August of 2015. She is somebody that you would say knows where the bodies are buried. Now, she does not have an ongoing relationship with Donald Trump. They are not in touch. The relationship kind of soured. And by that, I mean they don't speak, but they both hold a lot of affection for each other. Donald Trump still speaks very highly of Hope Hicks. Hope Hicks still speaks very highly of Donald Trump. There was just a moment after she was called to testify on January 6th, and they read her text messages out loud that some in his orbit thought she went a little bit too far in insulting the former president, which caused a little bit of a rift. But again, they still have a relationship. This is not like some of those other people.
And the one thing I think that is important to underscore is that because Donald Trump is somebody who doesn't email and he doesn't text on his own, people have to understand that a big way that he communicates is that people, when they want to get to Trump, they will text the person with him. And for all those years, it was Hope Hicks.
Right.
So she not only is by his side, she was one of those who was actually a filter and so involved and knowledgeable about everything coming to and from. And as you comment on that, Jamie, I should say that Blanche is objecting to a Truth Social post where Trump wrote, "If you go after me, I'm coming after you." And Jamie, we have that Truth Social post up there right now. I mean, classic all caps. Prosecutors want to get in Trump's social media post to show his, quote, pressure campaign against witnesses set to testify. So we're a little bit
doing two
things at once. It's sort of gag order and the actual.
And this is from August.
That's a really good point.
Yeah, this is not recent.
From 2016.
And actually, Jack Smith entered this into evidence with the judge in their case as well, saying.
Oh, this is interesting. The judge, forgive me, Kristen, the judge is letting the social media posts in, saying he's satisfied that the prosecutors have established proper foundation.
Anything to help support keeping Donald Trump from going after jurors, witnesses. Just to go back to Hope Hicks for a moment, for context in this particular case, we know a little bit about her testimony from Michael Cohen's case. And in that case, the court documents show that her testimony is she did not know about Stormy Daniels in October, that she didn't know until November. We don't know what else might come out in this case. But to Kristen's point about what a trusted advisor, inner circle that Hope Hicks is when you look back at the Mueller case, when you look back at the January 6th case, Hope Hicks was called to testify over and over again. She's in the Mueller report, I think, 180 times. So she's someone on the inside.
Yeah, that's a good point as well. All right, well, the jury is back in the courtroom now. So I want to go back to New York and to Caitlin.
Yeah, Dana, obviously we're watching closely. The jury watching closely. They just took a little bit of a break. We do expect them to have several more hours inside that courtroom today. And Paula Reed and Laura Coates are back with me. And with the speculation of who could be the next witness, we know there are still a lot of high-profile names to come that will be, the intense moments of questioning by the prosecution, but also cross-examination by the defense team. And I think what it really speaks to is, Trump doesn't know this paralegal who's on the stand right now, but a lot of these have been central figures in his orbit. Keith Davidson was a notable one yesterday. He had not been in the same room as Donald Trump ever, I believe, until they were in the same courtroom together.
You know, you wonder how this is all going to play out, because if the prosecution strategy is to suggest that he has minions, he has people who he's delegating